Hello, all. I'm Blair Emler, teach at the high school, and I am here as a representative for the evaluation committee for our transition into OTES 2.0. Formerly, the evaluation committee was the SLO committee, and now we're going to be taking your quarterly assessments and going through them and making sure that we vet those, as well as a couple other responsibilities the evaluation committee and subcommittee are going to have. So I want to give you guys a little bit of an idea on what you guys need to know, do, and where to submit things. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet and just give you what you need to know. This first little bit I have for you is simply a little bit of a history for the former treatment of SLOs and how we're currently installing high quality student data and how we're going to do that in the future. This transition plan, which this paper is shared with you, is available for you to take a look at if you want to take a look at it. Again, it's not something that you need to take a look at, but kind of give you an idea on where we're coming from the evaluation committee. But what you need to know, this is what you guys want to know, all right? I understand teachers, we just want to know things and we want to do the things that we need to do, and then we want to submit stuff and go on our way. So what do I need to know? All teachers, you're going to have two forms of high quality student data. All right, so whether that's value added or MAP or quarterly assessments or even a year-long baseline assessment, very similar to what our former SLO baseline assessment used to be. You need to have two of these. Now, not every teacher uses MAP, not every teacher is value added, but every teacher will be giving quarterly assessments, and these quarterly assessments need to be vetted by the committee. Now, these year-long baselines, we're not going to use those until next year. We're not going to do that until next year, 2022, 23, but we will vet those as well somewhere after January, maybe February, March time. We're going to vet those as well. We'll get there later on. Now, what do I need to do? All right, so all teachers, you need to do three things. All right, you need to do three. The first thing is you need to make sure that your quarterly assessments are tied to the state criteria. So I've given you guys, this can take you to the state website for OTES 2.0, basically laying out the state criteria. Or this will take you to a little bit more of a simpler view. So let's take a look at that real quick. And I'll let you guys kind of read this on your own. But as you can see here, there's different criteria, and you can talk to your building representatives about these criteria if you're confused on them. There's 7 criteria that you need to follow. You also need to use a different types of questions, a variety of questions, and you need to make sure that all questions are tied to standards or learning targets. This is what the evaluation committee is going to be looking at. Did you do these, is it tied to these 7? Do you have different question types? Is it tied to standards? This is what we're going to be looking for to make sure that we vet these properly. After you do that with your quarterly assessments, you need to submit your quarterly assessments to be vetted by the evaluation committee. Now, when do you need to do that? Well, down here I put the dates. September 30th for quarter 1, October 26th, quarter 2, and so forth. Now, quarter 1, we need to give our quarterly assessments soon. They won't be vetted in time. Go ahead and give it, okay? We will vet it after the fact, and that is going to help you when it comes to next school year. It'll already be vetted. It'll make things go much smoother. So go ahead and give your quarter 1 assessment, even if it's not vetted. Now, where do you submit everything? I've given you guys the links here, and with these links, if you click on them, they'll take you to a folder. Looks something like this. I'll just take you to mine. And then you would go ahead, find where you need to be. I'm high school social studies. Give it a click. After you're here, you need to be able to have a digital copy of your quarterly assessment. And then you will also be providing a link. So you would drop your link here for the quarterly assessment, list out your standards or targets. And then if there happens to be a rubric, give me the link to your rubric as well. Okay, give me the link to the rubric as well. One last thing that I want to make mention of, okay, is, you know what? This is an introduction year to everything, all right? what we collect, the data that you collect, it's important. It is important, but it's not necessarily counting against you this year. All right. As far as the high quality student data piece goes. Why? Because we're still learning this. This is a transition year, but it is a year for you to start to understand, to get things in on time and how to submit these things. So if you have any other questions, any further questions, any more specific questions, and there will be some, talk to your building representatives about this. Each building has their own representatives.